share. You guys know that I love the salt of Aries, which is basically my salt that I made with the energies and powers of Aries, the god of Mars. Now, my guides have led me to make a salt of Saturn. And I'm really excited about this one because Saturn is right now in retrograde and we need this. Okay, so feel free to contact me for spiritual work. However, you can also feel free to do this idea yourself as long as you are not a foe. If you are a foe of mine, I don't think this is going to work for you. Okay. So basically the way that I started this out, I've actually been working on this for probably like the past hour or two. I had to gather up all of the herbs. I had to do the divination, and I'm not going to be showing all of that. But I will show you guys what I'm going to put in it. I also do have 2 petitions written. And these are going to be burned. There is one petition that is for repelling, and then the other is going to be for what I want to attract. So repelling is what I don't want, and then attraction is what I do want. Okay. Now, I have my herbs that I'm going to be using for this gathered here, and I don't know why my light is not working. Let me try to shine some light here. This is really weird. I don't know why my light doesn't want to come on, my flash. So these are the herbs, and what you're seeing here is ground black pepper. This is arnica. This is mugwort and a little bit of garlic powder because I didn't want the garlic smell to overwhelm the mixture. And I did chop up or cut up with my scissors this mugwort as well as this arnica. Okay. And I'm going to be using 3 different types of salt. I'm going to try to get my light going. Really weird. My flash does not want to work. So I guess we're just going to leave it at that. So I'm just going to put my herbs to the side here. And the reason why it's easier to just go ahead and use a paper plate is because, of course, I want to charge these herbs. We're not just going to throw things in there, especially when we don't have a good base. If we had a good base, which is pretty much a salt of Saturn that was already with intention put into it, then I would be able to just refill it, add some stuff to it. But in this case, you know, we don't. This is our first time ever making Saturn's salt, okay? So I'm gonna be using this vessel for holding the salt. Oh, okay, there we go. Now it wants to come on. Okay, let me give you a better view of the herbs now. Okay, so that's arnica flowers, mugwort, black pepper, and garlic powder, okay? We're going to be using 3 different types of salt here. And this is actually a plastic jar that I got. They had these at Dollar Tree because they did not have my regular mason jars, which this will work. This is fine. I'm just going to appreciate that they at least had these, okay? So we're going to use 3 different types of salt. The first salt that I'm going to add is going to be kosher salt. I love to use kosher salt. Not just in cooking, but definitely for magic. Kosher salt is different from sea salt because kosher salt grows and is cultivated from underground, okay? Whereas sea salt comes from the sea, okay? So that would be the difference. And so it does carry on a different spiritual property, okay? And then we're also going to be using iodized salt. And then we're going to top it off with a little bit of sea salt, Okay, sea salt is so very precious. Okay. And so, first I'm going to go ahead and add in some of my kosher salt. Okay. So there is our kosher salt. And then we're going to go ahead and add in some table salt. We're going to fill this up. This is kind of a small container is all we need. Okay, so we've got our regular iodized table salt, okay? We're going to add the sea salt at the end. Usually like to do it that way. And I've got my little tiny cauldron here because we have to burn these petitions. Which, yeah. So I am going to get that done. But before I do so, and I'm going to do this off camera actually, I am going to charge these herbs as well as this salt. I am going to consecrate or enchant with my intention. And I'm going to be using cigarette, incense stick, okay? You can actually consecrate things with a cigarette, but I'm going to use an incense stick, which is going to be, you know, you can use dragon's blood. I do have a bunch of incense sticks that I kind of wanted to drag out of there, like a whole box of them. But I'm just going to go ahead and use this jasmine incense because it is connected to Mercury and it's all good. So I'm going to do all of my enchanting off camera because it's personal, okay? If you're doing this at home, you do your own personal list of what you want to repel and what you want to attract. And so I am going to start with the repelling, okay? And I'm just going to get into it, get it done, and then I'll be back. And of course, my flash did not come back on. So the first thing that I did was I went ahead and burned the petition to repel. And so we're just going to see what, oh yeah, it's ash. Nice. Look at that. Just complete ash. If I had a mortar and pestle, which y'all know that I normally have all of that stuff, but I've got to replace the one that I had. I would kind of like crush this up a little bit. So I'm trying to figure out how I can achieve that. I had quite a bit that I wanted to repel. Quite a bit. So I'm going to try to use these scissors and cut up ashes. Have you ever seen anybody using... Ah! I didn't mean to do that. Sorry about that. Have you ever seen anybody using scissors to cut up ashes? You only catch a witch doing something like that, huh? Yeah, you can close it now. Thank you. All right, and so what we're going to do is I'm going to set that to the side. And I'm going to grab my herbs and I am going to start whooshing them together. And I'm just going to work them in, goodness gracious, that's already solidifying. I'm going to work them. And as I was stating what I wanted to repel, I actually waved my wand or my incense stick going counterclockwise, okay? You don't necessarily have to do that, but you know, it works. And then of course, when I burned the petition, I folded it completely away. completely, okay? All right. So, what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to add those ashes to this salt mix. And then I'm gonna add half of these herbs on top of that. And then obviously the other half of the herbs is gonna go on the other petition. So I'm gonna take this and shake it and swoosh it counterclockwise, kinda in a counterclockwise motion. See, from Dollar Tree. Okay. And it doesn't look like it, but I'm sort of whooshing it in a counterclockwise way. Okay. All right. Go ahead and give it a vigorous shake. You want to incorporate all that together. My preference would have been to put this in a herb, what do you call that? Chopper, coffee grinder type of thing. I used to have one of those. I'll get another one. Okay. I would have liked my herbs to just be kind of ground up all the way, but that's okay. All right. It's not necessarily about that, but I just kind of like the look of that. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit more of the table salt. And then the rest that's going to go in here is going to be my sea salt. Okay. All right. So, oh, look at that sea salt. It's so pretty. It looks so different from the other salts. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to pretty much tell this salt, well, I'm already telling it, that you are going to repel what I don't want and attract what I do want. And so I'm going to move this over to the side and then grab my herbs and I'm going to start to work them in the clockwise fashion and speak my attraction intention in it, or what I want to bring towards me and others, because this will be used for client work as well. I'm going to do that off camera. I'll be right back. All right, and then my light decides to come on. Nice. So let's see what we've done here. And the good news is that this particular petition burned up completely too, because that can be definitely a sign. If the paper only burns partially, could be something. I've been doing a lot of work that I'll fill you guys in on later. I'm just gonna kind of cut this up and break it down so that it will uniformly go in our salt. This is not a black salt. This is more of a alchemy salt, okay, for Saturn. So We're not gonna burn the herbs because normally, because I had a lot of good ashes at the bottom of this, and I went ahead and I tossed them in the trash. Yeah, some stuff from some mugwort and John the Conqueror powder incense that I was burning. I'm gonna try to chop up these ashes and that's good enough right there. We're just gonna go and we're gonna take this and we're gonna go ahead and put it inside of our jar as quickly as possible because this thing is kind of hot. We'll move this to the side. Thank you, Goddess. Goodness gracious, seems like it's always some gunk stuck in my throat. Alright, so we're just gonna put this in here a little at a time. Just scoop it in there because it's already consecrated heavily and enchanted. So all we have to do is put it in there. I like using salt because it's indestructible. There we go. Now we're gonna take it and we're gonna shake it and we're gonna whoosh it in more of a clockwise fashion now because this is what we are bringing to us. It will definitely work two ways. Okay, beautiful. Okay. And there is our salt of Saturn. So a lot of people are wondering, well, how do you use these salts? And you can use them in so many different ways. You can use them during ritual. You can use them for jars. You can use them to dress candles. You can use them for anything. You can use them in your puppet dolls. You can use them in your mojo bags, your gree bags. I like to take salt and things and use them on my petitions. You can use them in case you want to, ward something off, just for whatever. You can use them to when you're sweeping, if you want to throw some salt in a certain area before you sweep, you can use them to line your doorway. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can use the salts. You can even use them in your bath if you want. Let me see what this one smells like because I did put a little bit of garlic in it. Yeah, it does smell like garlic, a little, but it really smells like kind of like Italian seasoning. I don't know if I would want to put this in my bath, but I mean, using a little tiny amount, if you want to use it in your bath, you can. It's got pepper in it. I wouldn't put that in my bath because it's got black pepper in it. But you could. I guess there are some people that would put it in their bath, but I just have a tendency to use other stuff, so I'm just gonna put this on here. Salt of Saturn. Voila. Alrighty, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next time. Make sure that you guys subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and again, contact me. My website address that takes you straight to my link tree is divineservicesapothecary.com. to schedule readings or consultations for spells and rituals that work. All right. Blessings, guys. And blessed be to the witches. Bye-bye.